Hello and welcome to my little corner of the internet. Sorry if you can hear the TV in the background. I do not have my mic hooked up today, but hopefully you can and hopefully everything goes smoothly. But today we are going to be doing my September TBR. This is my favorite time of the month. I love resetting. I love picking a new TBR. I love resetting my monthly goals. The new month always feels like another fresh start to me and I absolutely love it. September is entering those fall months, which I really love. I love the colder months, and so this is just gonna be great. I absolutely am ecstatic. I did change out some of the books back here, so I got rid of the more summary books. I've gotten rid of the books I've already read or books I've DNF'd and don't plan to read again. And I moved them into my living room, and so this is just all books that are on my physical TBR. Obviously, I have way more. But at this current time, this is what I'm trying to choose between. So right here we have my library books that I had on hold. If I don't get to them or if another patron puts them on hold, I'll just go ahead and return them. But I generally have about 3 weeks and then I can renew it one time. So then generally for most reads I have 6 weeks. Some of these are coming up on 3 weeks that I haven't read yet, but we are going to be trying to choose between them. This is some wrapped books. So here is a little interesting fact. When I originally wanted to participate in booktube stuff, but I wasn't a booktuber, I wrapped a whole bunch of books. I wrapped like 30 or something like that. I thought I didn't have any more, but I found more. And there's more than that too, which is terrible. But I wrapped them in like December of 2023. So I have no clue what these books are. They've been wrapped for over a year, going on 2 years. And I'm hoping I never bought duplicates. I'm not sure. But I did put blind book as an option on our spinner wheel today. I also have some NetGalley ARCs that I've been kindly gifted by the publishers. Please don't judge my ink quality. I clearly need new colors, but I decided I didn't want to cut them out. So what I'll do if I get that is I'll just do a random number generator to choose between the current ARCs I have, and it cut off half of them too, so. Anyway, and then I obviously still have my Kindle Unlimited jar, which is all these reads from Kindle Unlimited that I really want to read that I can randomly draw from. And then obviously the rest are my physical TBR. So I'm super excited for today. We're going to be spinning my spinner wheel. I'll read to you what it says once we land on it because one, I only found a purple marker and it's hard to read, and two, I have terrible boyish handwriting. So I think we're going to be doing about 6 to 8. I feel pretty confident that I've been reading more recently. Like, I feel like I've been less slumpish, especially because my computer is broke, so I can't play The Sims. But I digress. Anyway, so we're going to be choosing 6 to 8. I think we'll see the thickness of the first 6 and then maybe add another 2, or if I'm just having fun I'll add another 2. None of the books for my August TBR are back on the shelves because we still have about a week left of August, and I'm feeling pretty confident that I might be able to complete them all, but if not, I definitely will just add them back to my October TBR if they're not summerish. So without further ado, let's get into my first spin. This does not spin very well, so I'm gonna have to like throw it. That was okay. A library book. Okay, perfect. So we're gonna be choosing between these. So the two that give me like the most September-ish vibe that I'm really looking forward to is You Belong Here by Megan Miranda. This is a thriller. And then I have Gifted and Talented by Olivia Blake. I really want to read both of these, but I think I'm gonna go with Gifted and Talented. I just feel like it gives more of a September-ish feel. And for those of you that don't know, Gifted and Talented, it says, where there's a will, there's a war. Thayer Rin, the brilliant CEO of Renfair Magitech and so-called father of modern technology, is dead. Any one of his 3 telepathically and electrokinetically gifted children would be plausible inheritors to the Renfair throne, or at least so they like to think. Meredith, textbook accomplishment eldest daughter and the head of her own groundbreaking biotech company, has recently cured mental illness. You're welcome. If only her father's fortune weren't her last hope for keeping her journalist ex-boyfriend from exposing what she really is, a total fraud. Arthur, the second youngest congressman in history, fights the good fight every day of his life, and yet his wife might be leaving him and he's losing his re-election campaign. But his dead father's approval in the form of seat on the Renfair throne might just turn his sinking ship around. And I'm not sure how to pronounce this name. It's Eilidh. Eliada, one of the world's most famous ballerina, has spent the last 5 years as a run-of-the-mill marketing executive of her father's company after a life-altering injury put her at the end of her career. She might be lacking in accolades compared to her siblings, but if her father left her everything, it would finally validate her worth by confirming she's been his favorite all along. On the pipeline, from gifted kids to clinically depressed adults, nobody wins, but which Rin will come out on top? So this sounds super exciting. So by this author, I have read the Atlas 6 and then the second book, I don't remember what it was called, but here's the weird thing, right? So I feel like it definitely can be hard to understand, especially for Atlas 6 anyway. There was like 6 POVs, and if she does the same thing here, there's going to be 3 or 4. And it can definitely be hard to understand. So the Atlas 6 was hard for me, and I think I gave it 3 or 4 stars because I still really liked it. When I read the second book, I listened to it audio, and with all the differentiated voices, it made for such an easier experience. I don't want to have to buy anything, especially when I was lucky enough to be able to pick this up at the library, so hopefully that doesn't impact my reading experience. But I definitely am super excited for this. The Atlas 6 was good. Don't get me wrong, it was good, but I'm just hoping this is better. But don't you hope that for every read. So this is the first book on our September TBR. Spin number 2. A NetGalley arc. Okay, super excited because I feel like I'm so behind. I have like, at this point, I think I have like 14 to 18, something like that, arcs. I have 2 I'm currently in the middle of, so I didn't put them on this list, and I did read 1 fully, so I don't know how many that leaves. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So there's 19 on here, but I've already read, oh, I put everything on here. What am I talking about? I've already read The Weaver Bride, but if we land on one that I've already read, I'm just skipping it. That's just how I'll go, and then later on I'll find which ones I missed and see where I can fit them in. Anyway, so I'm going to generate a number 1 through 19, and if we land on a book I've already read, I'll just regenerate. Pick a number 1 through 19. It says 11, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. A book I've already read. So the one book on here that I fully and completely finished is what got picked. Let's go again. Pick a number 1 through 19. 1, 2, 3, 4. So on our second choice, we are doing Pinky Swear by Danielle Girard. I'm not sure what it's about. I think it's a thriller. Number 3. An even number of pages. So we're choosing from unwrapped book back here. So a physical book. So I'm going to pick a few that I'm really, I don't know if this is cheating or not, but I'm going to pick a few that I'm like super interested in reading because, and then we'll see if any of them have even numbers of pages. Okay, so I just went ahead and picked 5. It looks like fantasy and romancy. So let's go through them, see which ones have even numbers. So out of those 5, we had to put back 2, which was 10,000 Stitches and Hemlock and Silver, which are both odd numbers of pages. But for this option, we have The Traitor Queen by Danielle Jensen. This is the second book in the Bridge Kingdom. I read the Bridge Kingdom like November to January. 2024 to 2025. So I'll definitely need to read a refresh of the first book. I cannot believe I was like, this is a 6-star book to me, and I literally don't remember anything of it, and it was only a couple months ago. But I seem to tend to do that. I forget everything after like a day. I swear to you, I do. The next book is Anywhere With You by Ellie Palmer. I was gifted this copy in a giveaway that I won. This is a finished copy of the book, but it did just recently come out. And then the next book I have is Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score. I have heard very mixed opinions on this series, but I have the entire series. I got it from Book Outlet during their $5.99 sale, so for the whole series I paid less than $20, but I still really want to read this because I know it's thick, but I do love a good slow burn romance, so I feel like it might just be up my alley. I think I am gonna go with The Traitor Queen. I feel like it has been on my TBR or on these shelves particularly for far too long, and I really need to get it read. So I think I am gonna go with The Traitor Queen as our 3rd choice for our September TBR. We are now spinning for book number 4. Oh, that was terrible. Let me do that again. Okay. A Libby or a Hoopla hold. So I may be cheating on this one, but I did just receive a Libby hold for Heavenly Bodies, which is also a book I physically got from the library here. So I'm going to choose Heavenly Bodies. That just feels like the correct choice. I've heard so many good things about this series as well, so that's just perfect. So Heavenly Bodies is about in a world ruled by the cruel and merciless stars, Alara has been cursed by a fate. A prophecy promises she will fall for a star, but that it will kill them both. So when Erudite, star of wrath and war, descends to wreak havoc on Alara's kingdom of night, she flees her home only to be captured by the neighboring Helios, kingdom of light, and falls straight into the arms of an enemy prince. Fearing the Erudite might turn his sights on Helios next, Prince Lorenzo is forced to train Alara as a weapon, one worthy of battling against the tyrannical reign of the stars. But there are shadows even within the kingdom of light, and they threaten to reveal the darkness in Lorenzo's past and the ancient magic that slumbers in Alara's veins. And with it all comes an undeniable star-crossed pull between Alara and Lorenzo that neither can seem to resist. Is it Lorenzo or Lorenzo? I think it's Lorenzo, and I'm just saying it wrong. I do apologize. I am not good with pronunciations, if you can tell by this video. I'm sorry if you can now hear a lawnmower. My husband just decided to start mowing by the window I'm filming at. Whatever. Regardless, we're gonna keep going. I hope it doesn't bother you if you're watching. But we're gonna go with spin number 5 now. My most anticipated read. Let me look. I can tell you what I'm most anticipating right now by choosing right now. Okay, I have a couple, so let's talk. The first one I have is Main Characters by Hannah Orenstein. The only thing turning me off about this is I've had very, very mixed opinions. I've heard it's kind of like The Parent Trap, but also not at all. I've heard it's really good, but also not at all. So I am very hesitant, but also really excited to read this. I just absolutely love the cover, and I'm just hoping I'm one of those people that really adore it. The next one I have is Made for Each Other by Lynn Painter. Lynn Painter is always a hit for me. I absolutely love her books. Even her most recent adult book that came out, what was it? I don't remember the name, but it seemed like nobody liked it, but I really did. I think I gave it like a 4 or 5 stars, so I'm honestly really excited for this. And the next 2 books I currently feel are BookTube and Book Talk absolute faves right now, which is Shield of Sparrows by Devney Perry and A Dance of Lies by Brittany Arena. I literally am so excited for both of these. I did start this audiobook on Libby before I realized I waited till the very last second, and the audiobook sounded absolutely so good, and then it returned. So and that's my thing, is if I buy a copy of a book, or if I buy a copy of a book, I no longer want to buy it in any other form. I know some people buy physical books and then they buy the audio, or they buy physical and then they buy the Kindle. And sometimes I do that, but if I can find it on like Libby or Hoopla, I'm not going to buy another copy, because to me personally, just for me, that feels like a waste of my money, and I'm trying to be more conscious about what I'm buying. But other than that, I mean, I'm super excited. This one is Aurelia. I think that's how you say it. It's like that sub company of Book of the Month that just started. This is their first month edition. I didn't end up getting their second month because nothing sounded good to me that I didn't already have. And then Shield of Sparrows is just the Walmart version, but it's like, was kind of in high demand for a hot minute. Anyway, I'm just super excited for both of these. I don't know. I think because I just hear the best reviews from this one. I think I'm gonna go with A Dance of Lies. I think I am. So in A Dance of Lies, we're following a main character named Vasily, who used to be a dancer for the king's court. And about 2 years ago, he frames her for murder, and she spends the next 2 years in the dungeon. Now he brings her out and he offers her this deal. He's like, you spy for me and you'll be free. And she takes him up on this deal, and I guess the story kind of goes from there. She's kind of stuck in the crossfires. Maybe a love triangle, maybe it's just a romantasy, I'm not sure. I've heard that there is like some dancing scenes in here, which sounds really cool. And I don't know how the story, like, did she murder somebody? Are we gonna find that out? Was she just framed? Does she now have to learn to be a spy, or is she already a really good spy? I mean, that just sounds so cool. I'm so excited. And I love the colored map in this edition. The cover is kind of basic, like Book of the Month, but I actually do still really like it. But I love the colored map. Oh, in the front of this book also says, to those who feel invisible in their pain. So I think we're gonna have some disability rep for those with pain that isn't seeable. I am one of those people. I have postural orthostatic tachycardia. It is hard to live with every day. I know I don't think the main character in here has that, but she has some type of chronic pain, and I love seeing that represented in books. It makes you feel more seen, definitely, especially when you feel like you can't do anything, but you see the main characters be able to do things and live vicariously through them. And it also kind of just gives you like inspiration and courage to try and try and try. But anyway, I'm so excited. I'm feeling, with the colder weather coming in, I'm feeling my more fantasy romance era coming back, and it's my favorite. So I'm so excited. So we're now rolling for number 6. Oh, snap, my most anticipated again. So we know what we picked there. I actually don't think I'm gonna pick Shield and Sparrows this one, because that is romantasy. I think I'm gonna flip to the other 2 that I had, but I think I'm gonna go with Made for Each Other by Lynn Painter. Ever since I picked this one up to show you guys, I have been wanting to read it. So let me tell you what it's about. So it's about a millionaire and a house cleaner, which are a match made in heaven in this sparkling new romantic comedy. As a professional cleaner, Abby Mariano never thought her apartment would have any sort of infestation, but because of building-wide outbreak, she now needs somewhere to stay for a week. As a part-time student with 2 jobs, she doesn't have many options. Then a solution presents itself. The owner of a penthouse she cleans is out of town for the week, and she normally wouldn't consider it, but he's literally never around. She hasn't even met him. It all goes well, until one morning she finds two strangers in the kitchen. They're the parents of the penthouse owner, and they seem to think they've heard all about Abby, not as their son's maid, but as his girlfriend. Declan Powell has always put his career first, working his way to become an executive of his company, but he still has his sights set on the next level. When his parents mention that they've met his girlfriend Abby, he says he all but chokes. As wonderful as it is to hear that she was just darling, he doesn't actually have a girlfriend. He made her up to get everybody off his back, and when Dex finds out who Abby really is, he makes her a proposition. Pretend to date him and he'll provide everything she needs during this little arrangement. What harm would it do? It's purely business, not pleasure, right? How good does that sound? Like, it's not even like the typical fake dating where like they meet each other, they're enemies, and they go, okay, we need to fake date because such and such. It's like they're kind of forced to fake date because the parents met her first. Like, I don't know, that just sounds different to me. It sounds cute. I feel like I'm gonna fly through this. It's like 350 pages. I think this will be so fun. I'm excited. So that makes number 6. But I kind of think I want to challenge myself this month. So I'm gonna go 2 more spins. Yeah, let's do it. Another set of even number of pages. So I'm going to try to pick some different ones this time. Alright, so I picked 4 here. We have The Night She Disappeared, The Pumpkin Spice Cafe, Water Moon, and Rustler Mountain. So let's go through these and see which ones are even numbers of pages. So the only book out of those 4 that were not even numbers of pages was The Pumpkin Spice Cafe. So we have these 3 to choose between. All blue. The Night She Disappeared, Rustler Mountain, and Water Moon. Water Moon gives me such September vibes. I don't have like a fiction, like just a general fiction, I think that's what this is, or literary, or a thriller yet on my TBR. I do have a romance already, so I think I'm gonna roll this one out. I feel like this one is just different than my typical read, so I do think I'm gonna go with this one. So Water Moon is by Samantha Soto Yam. I don't want to mispronounce it, so I'm just gonna show you. That's her last name. Samantha Soto. But it follows a pawn shop in Tokyo that not everybody can find. Most will see a cozy ramen restaurant, and only the chosen ones, those who are lost, will find a place to pawn their life choices and deepest regrets. Hannah wakes on her first morning at the pawn shop's new owner to find it ransacked, the shop's most precious acquisition stolen, and her father is missing. And then into the shop stumbles a charming stranger, quite unlike any customer. He offers her help instead of seeking for it. Together they must journey through the mystical world to find Hannah's father and the stolen choice by the way the rain puddles, rides on paper cranes, the bridge between midnight and morning, and the night market in the clouds. But as they get closer to the truth, Hannah must reveal a secret of her own and risk making a choice that she will never be able to take back. So what I think is super cool about this, and I don't know if every copy has this particular copy, I think this is a finished copy, but I got it from somebody that no longer wanted their PR box, and so it came with all kinds of cool stuff. But what's so cool about this is it shows you how to turn the dust jacket into a paper crane. And this particular copy came with a second dust jacket so that you could do that. That dust jacket, I believe, looks identical to this one, but I think that is so cool. And look at the naked hardcover. I think it's stunning. It sounds so cool and so different. I mean, absolutely. I feel like this is gonna be a banger. I really hope I like it. So now we're on to number 8, which is going to be our last spin, but I have a little bit of a surprise at the end. So we got an even number of pages for the 3rd time, so I'm actually gonna skip that because I want something different. We got an even number of pages for the 4th time, so I'm just gonna skip it again. Okay, random shelf. So what I mean by this is I'm going to count the number of like shelves I have the number generator pick, then I'm going to count the number of books on that shelf. So it's going to be completely random. I'm also going to count my jar and my NetGalleys as books shelves. So I have 12 total. Pick a number 1 through 12. 2, 1, 2. So we're going to go up the shelf. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So now it's going to be 1 through 13. Pick a number 1 through 13. 12. So at the very end, we're coming back to the Griffin Sisters Greatest Hits by Jennifer Weiner. This has been on my TBR for the past 2 months that well, it wasn't on my TBR in September, but it was in August and July. It's one I've been really putting off, but I think this is a month I just need to take the plunge, get it read. It's about the Griffin sisters, who were like a famous music band in the early 2000s. They were bonded by music, divided by fame, and silenced by tragedy. 20 years later, a new generation will try to reunite them. Can the love between sisters survive the secrets that remain? And this is an art copy. I won it in a Goodreads giveaway. I have only read one Jennifer Weiner book before, and I gave it 5 stars. It wasn't my cup of tea either, so I'm kind of very hopeful that I will at least like this. The reason I kind of steer away from it is I don't really like books that revolve around singers or rock stars or anything like that. I just feel like they're not as good to me personally, but movies that do, I really like. So it's kind of odd, but I'm really excited to maybe get this off my TBR this month and find out if this is the book for me. So when I was talking about surprises, I mean that I forgot that I have 2 things. So one is my wrapped book. I wrap a book for myself every month, and I forgot to unwrap it, so we're gonna do that. And these books I wrapped back in December, but I still don't know what they are because, like I said, I forget the very next day, no matter what. The next one is just the second half of Crescent City. I read that with my best friend every month. Originally, you may have seen in my earlier videos that me and my husband were doing a read every month, but he is currently in a reading slump and it's been going on for like 2.5 months, so boo. And he is kind of stubborn and he will refuse to read until he feels like it. So we're not choosing a book with him this month, but I will go ahead and do my wrapped book. So this is September's wrapped book. Do not judge me, I cannot draw. But we are going to open this. It feels like a paperback. I'm not sure what it is. I cannot remember. So it is Never by Jessa Hastings. So personally for me, I've never read a Jessa Hastings book. By Jessa Hastings, I have never, and I have the first 2 in the Magnolia Park series. I know that she's under a lot of controversy at this current time, but I've already invested my money in these, so I'm going to be reading them because I'm not going to personally waste my money. If I don't like them, they will find a new home. And I just hope what she said about AI writing is incorrect. And I hope it's just not true. But I'm excited nonetheless. This is her least liked book. I picked this up before I knew it because I didn't even know who Jessa Hastings was when I picked up this book. I just saw this cover and I said, oh my god, that is so beautiful. I've heard that you should definitely read Peter Pan before you pick this up. I don't think I'm going to. I might if I can find it on Libby or Hoopla, but I don't want to invest in reading Peter Pan. I don't know why. I don't know. I just hope it's a hit for me. Maybe I won't look at it as a Peter Pan retelling. Maybe I'll just read it to read and hope for the best. That seemed to work well for me with Rose on Chains because I don't know Harry Potter. But anyway, nonetheless, there's that book. And the second book in Crescent Sincerity, we're going to be reading the last half, like I said. And one more. I do not get a Kindle draw in my TBR. I draw one because if I'm paying for Kindle Unlimited, I probably should be using it. So I like to at least minimum read one book per month. So that's what I'm going to do now. These are a list of Kindle Unlimited books that I made maybe 3-4 months ago. I don't really remember what they are, but I will be drawing one today. Hopefully it's something good. If it doesn't align with the season, I'm allowing myself to put it back and redraw. The Problem with Falling by Brittany Cherry. It is a romance. I'll pop a picture of it up on the screen. I do not know what it is. I don't remember, but it's so exciting. September feels like fall. It feels like cozy romances. It feels like fantasy and romantasy. Perfect. This is perfect. So let's quickly go over the books on my September TBR. We have The Problem with Falling by Brittany Cherry, the last half of House and Sky and Breath, Never by Jessa Hastings, The Girlfriend Sisters Greatest Hits by Jennifer Weiner, Water Moon by Samantha Soto, Made for Each Other by Lynn Painter, A Dance of Lies by Brittany Arena, Heavenly Bodies by Amani Aru, Trader Queen by Danielle L. Jensen, Gifted and Talented by Olivia Blake, and Pinky Swear by Danielle Gerard. So if you watched the entire video, I know it was super long. I do apologize. I didn't expect myself to pick so many books, but I'm really aiming to get through all of them next month and have a amazing book-filled month. I was super excited to film this video, and I'm super excited with most of the choices on the TBR. I would love for you to like the video, follow along, and leave a comment if you want to. But thank you guys for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day.